You know, I just want to know, as I sit here and I read, at what point do these government agencies be real with an individual about their present situation? At what point? Because what I learned about these government institutions by being a part of their programs is that it's kind of like they gaslight. They gaslight an extreme amount of gaslighting. They'll tell you, or they'll say, okay, let's say you're on one of these programs, right? And they'll see your situation. You're a single parent with multiple children. You're living in one of the highest cost cities and states in the USA. And then they'll tell you, okay, in order to keep getting these meager benefits that you cannot really do anything with, these meager benefits that don't qualify you for nowhere in the city to stay. You don't qualify for no type of place, because for the most part they're not giving you, and they're not going to give you enough money to qualify for nowhere. So two of the main programs they have here, no phone is connected, and I'm pretty sure it's the same in other states, but in California, it's two of the programs are CalWorks, which is the cash part, and CalFresh, which is the food stamp part, or the SNAP, right? Now, if you're a single person, then your SNAP, your CalFresh benefits are very, very low. You know, it's going to be, let's say, $200, and the food part will probably be $150, $100. So they're literally giving you enough to pay for one night of, not even one night. God damn it, because most hotels want you to have a deposit, right? So you're not even having enough money to stay at a damn hotel for a night. And then they give you food. So if you can't stay at a hotel for one night, and then they give you the CalFresh so you can buy food, right? But if you can't stay at a hotel for one night, then you can't cook the food, because the food that you can buy with SNAP is cold food. It's uncooked food, right? So you don't have a place to cook the food, and you don't have a place to cook the food. And so you're basically going to have some food that you can't cook. So your only option is to go and get you a tent. And get you a tent and find a way, maybe use that $200 that they give you to buy you some type of propane gas stove, and you're gonna have to you're gonna have to do it that way. But guess what? Here's the problem. When you try to set up your tent somewhere, they may kick your tent down, move your tent, and tell you, hey, you can't have your tent here, so they'll just take it. When you're away, let's say you go out to do something, they'll just break your tent down, leave your stuff there, and hopefully another person that is living in a tent don't go by and just take your stuff that they left out. And so this is the situation. Well, they say, okay, why don't you go to an area where they have homeless encampments like Skid Row. But what comes with being in a homeless encampment is safety and security. And you have to take this into mind about Skid Row, is a lot of these individuals that are on Skid Row, they have drug abuse issues, they have mental issues, I'm talking about severe mental issues. And you are just a person that got caught up in this matrix, in this unfair system that fell on hard times. You see, you are in this situation not because you lacked effort and not because you didn't try hard, but just because you're just unlucky. That's it. Not because you didn't try hard, not because you didn't apply yourself, not because even you made some mistakes. You just got unlucky. Maybe you lost your job. And for the most part, most jobs in California are going to pay you enough to barely survive. You can't have a family. And even if it's just you're still one check away from homelessness. So you were just a unlucky individual that lost their job, didn't have no families to lean on, didn't have no friends to lean on, so you became homeless. And they tell you, go to Skid Row, that's filled with drugs, filled with extreme mental problems, filled with criminality, filled with all this, and you're supposed to, that's the only place you can set yourself in because you fell on hard times, because of this unfair system, because of this unfair way this stuff is set up in this country. The way the stuff is set up for all the white people to live in the nice, rich areas, all the homeless people. I say not homeless. Well, damn, technically we all homeless. To live in the poor, ghetto, rundown areas, and that's the way it's set up. Ain't nothing changed in this country. The unfairness, ain't nothing changed, in this damn country. And so these government programs are set up, and getting back to that, to gaslight you. Now let's say, we brought up the single person situation. Now let's talk about the person with children. They're gonna give you, a single parent, just enough. They still not gonna give you enough to do anything with. So literally, you have to be lucky and fortunate to already have shelter. If you don't have shelter, you are out of luck, even with your children. You can call 211 all you want. They're going to give you some referrals to some shelters that's probably already filled up or whatever. Are they not, don't have space? So if you are unfortunate to not have shelter, then you're messed up, because the amount they still going to give you in California, whether you're in Southern California, whether you're in Northern California, is still not going to be enough for nothing. But if you got shelter, hopefully, and your amount is under 1,000, then you'll have enough just to survive. That's it. Now, in California, in Southern or Northern California, there is no places under $1,000 for a family, right? There is no places. So you're not going to have enough to do nothing. You are not going to have enough to do anything with. So, but this is what they're going to give you, right? And this is what they're going to give you. And you're not going to have enough to do anything with. My apologies about the distraction. I just saw something. I'm a natural man, and this sister was damn near half nude. I mean, she had, it's nighttime, and she might as well just not have what is this? A blouse? The way her breast was so out, she might as well not even have it on. And then, I don't know if she has a BBL, but when you see stuff like that, you just like, okay, she's out here looking to be, when you walk around like that, you already know what the deal is, especially at night. But aside from that, they are going to give you enough just to survive. That's it. I know y'all going to say, well, it's not meant for you to thrive. It's not meant for you. Yeah, I understand that. But when they say, okay, now, in order to continue to still get these benefits, we got to put you in this job training program, right? Now, you may have no problems finding a job on your own. That's not an issue. You may even have your education and your qualifications and your certificates, and you might have all that. So that's not the issue. The issue is there ain't no damn jobs. And you've been applying on all the job platforms, Indeed, LinkedIn, everyone, I don't know, all the ones that's out there. You've been on all of them, submitting thousands of resumes, filling out thousands of applications, refining and tailoring your resume to each job that you apply to. You've been doing all that, but they put you in this job training program, and they gonna tell you, hey, you gotta be this so you can get your portion of it, your little $200 of it. Your children, because they under a certain age, they still can get theirs. But if you don't do this program, then you're not gonna receive your $200 like that really done anything. But, oh well, you have to do what you got to do, right? Because even though that $200 ain't gonna do nothing, it's still $200. And so you get in there, and they got you doing a whole bunch of irrelevant BS. They got you learning about mental health. And mental health. They got you learning about domestic and all this, like, and doing all this senseless stuff rather than helping you find a job. And your mental health issues are probably because you can't find work. You out here struggling, trying to make ends meet. You out here in this messed up system, but the whole thing is to get you to cope with the reality of the situation, to get you to cope with the reality of the situation. You know, it's not what I want to say. It's not that something is wrong with you, because a normal, sane person who looks at the reality of the situation that they're in and basically sees it as it is, that the only way they're going to get out of this situation is if they either they win the lottery or they just get lucky. Because the reality of the situation, no BS job is going to get them out of that situation, especially in the state of California. No BS job. None is going to get them out of that situation. So, but they're going to talk to you about mental health to basically get you to accept your reality and cope with it and deal with it. Yes, your reality is effed up. Yes, you'll always be in poverty, and you always live in the messed up part of the town. But you got to be happy about it. You got to be glad. You got to be happy. Right? And this is how they gaslight you. And then they give you a bunch of job recommendations, right? And we still talking about California. That's where I'm at. They give you a bunch of job recommendations that's not going to do shit for you. Because I don't have the numbers right in front of me right now, but I did a little research on ChatGPT, and I typed in, just for a single person to have a decent life, not extravagant. It's in the 6K. It's in the six figures area. It's in the 6 figures range. Just to have a decent life. I didn't say extravagant. I didn't say opulent. I said just a basic, decent life is in the 6 figures category. Now for a parent, it's even higher. It's in 100 at a base level to live comfortably, to have all your basic necessities met, to be able to do things around the town on your day off. For a family of 4 or 5, you and your wife, or if you're a single parent, you and your children, you need at least 150 to 200K. But they're going to show you jobs that's paying $20 an hour, $22 an hour, and they're going to make it seem like, oh, this is an opportunity for you. And this is how they gaslight you. This is how they mess with you, because they're showing you, they're showing you these opportunities, so-called opportunities, that ain't gonna do nothing for you. But they're going to show you a bunch of PowerPoint slides and make it seem like, oh, this is great, working a job. This is how you find your purpose, working a just over broke. This is how you find the way. Yeah, man, this government aid stuff is BS, man. It's BS. This whole damn system, this whole damn country is just BS. It's BS. It's to keep the rich richer and the poor poorer. And that's it. Because the only way you can get these government benefits is if you're destitute. It's not to help people better their situation. It's for you have to be destitute, homeless to get it, and you have to stay that way. Because even when you get a job making $20 an hour, which is not enough for anywhere in Southern California or Northern California, and particularly in the LA area or the Bay Area, is not enough. It's hell, even in the Central Valley, to do anything with. 22, 20, it don't matter. That's not enough to that don't qualify you for a place in most places, especially if you have a family. You got to make 2.5 to 3 times the amount to qualify for most places in California. So you're not even qualifying for nowhere. So even when you get a job, then they tell you, oh, you're making too much. If you get a job making 20, 22 an hour, working 40 to 50 hours a week, you still, to them, you're making too much. So they cut your benefits, but you're still in poverty. This whole thing is BS, man. This whole setup is BS. I'm out.